I also want to bring up with you a conversation that I had with firefighters from my state, from different parts of the state, up in the Mat-Su borough. Talked to firefighters up there, up in Fairbanks, down in the southeastern part of the state, and concerns about application of the ACA within the emergency services sector, a concern about employer mandate, a concern about the 30-hour work week. What I heard from the mayor in Mat-Su was that they have moved their emergency personnel to a 29.9 hour per week cap for non-full-time employees. Many of the stations are reducing the hours beyond the required 29.9 to 24 hours per week to include personnel who work both as EMTs and as firefighters. This is an issue for us where our growth in these areas are growing. We rely on our emergency services folks because they cover enormous areas. What we're seeing is a real chilling effect here on employment, particularly as it applies to our first responders. So I guess I would ask more of a question in the vein that, do you agree we've got a problem with this? There's a few senators, I'm joined with Senators Collins and Donnelly to help address this. Do you see an opportunity for us to address this definition of 30-hour work week and the implications that it's having on not only EMS but other areas of the economy here?
Senator, I'd like to learn more about the specific example that you have
I'm happy
articulated.
to provide that, yeah.
And the issue of broadly overall in terms of the job creation that's occurred since the Affordable Care Act, 9.1 million private sector jobs. And the San Francisco Fed just released a report that said that the part-time issues are consistent with a recovery. Having said that, would like to learn more about the specific issue you've raised. With regard to the specific legislation that changes the numbers, one of the things, there are a couple concerns when CBO scored that legislation in terms of cost, but also that 1 million people in that setting would also lose their employer-based care. And so would want to understand the specifics of the situation that you're talking about, as well as coming to understand this better, the piece of legislation.